Shalom, 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 brother Randy here. Out here, we're about to go into the Sabbath and just trying to get some last minute work done. It's been a very, very, very long and hectic week here at the Covenant, but I wanted to show you another project that we've been working on, and it's interesting. There's a pastor out there, the scripture says, "And I shall send you pastors," and that's plural, according to my heart, that will feed you with knowledge and understanding. And it's a beautiful thing to be able to tap pastors and listen and get that knowledge and understanding from them. And another pastor that I listen to and I follow, and I apply his wisdom and his teachings and knowledge is Pastor Joe Fox. And it's interesting. He did a video a couple of a week or so ago saying before you buy precious metals, and it's interesting that a lot of people will go out. You have people out there in the city that be sitting on 3, 4, 5,000 ounces of silver, and they're sitting in the city. And what's that's going to do for you if you don't have the other things, or you're not in a situation where you have the other basic necessities, basic resources necessary in order to sustain yourself. I mean, silver is one of the last things that you should ever be thinking of. But one of those things that he talked about in the video was worm composting and worm casting. And it's interesting, all of the things in that video that he stated I've done or I've completed already. There's certain things that I way overshot in terms of supplies, but the idea is you want to be as self-sufficient as possible. You want to be in a situation as to where you're not applying on the system for pretty much anything. And that's my ultimate goal, is to be as self-sufficient as possible with me and the brother in here, so that we don't have to depend and spend money and put that money in the system. So one of the things that we would be able to develop early on, it's interesting. We developed this, and then I saw the video from Pastor Joe Fox that I knew I was on point. So I'm gonna show you our worm composting system. Now, nothing here goes to waste. As you see, the branches don't go to waste. The bark doesn't go to waste. Everything is used here. The trash is burned. Everything that can be recycled is recycled. And one of the things that we do with food scraps or anything of that nature is that we put them in the worm composting bin. And let me show you exactly what happens. Now I'm gonna show you a 3-stage process of where I developed this worm composting bin, and I'm gonna show you how it starts from the beginning, and I'm gonna show you an end product. Here we have here, and where did I get the worms from? I got them out of the ground. I just pulled them out of the ground, and I pulled the grubs out of the ground because I was wondering, why is it that I have so much black dirt out in the field? And that's what I'm using for all of the gardening. And it's because of the worms in the grub and how they were able to naturally compost the materials that were in the ground. And that's why the dirt is so black. And I'm going to show you that process here. So what we have here is we have a whole bunch of food scraps that I put in here, and the worms and the grubs are eating this stuff up, and nothing goes to waste. So the idea is that we can put this stuff in here. The worms and the grubs will eat it up, and then you get into a stage where here, a second stage, where again more food and stuff is here, and you see the worms. You get in here. You see those worms? Can you get it?
Yeah.
So you see all those worms, and they're eating up all of the food. And there has to be at least 1,000 worms in here by now. You see all those worms? So they're eating up all of the food, and they're developing this worm bin. And the grubs are in here as well, and they're eating it up. And one of the things that is beautiful about this worm bin system, this is very simple to set up. You can go on YouTube and check it out. But as you see here, you see all of this right here? This is worm tea compost. This is the good stuff right here. This is the stuff that you want to put in your garden. This is the stuff that you want to put on your flower beds, and it's highly concentrated, and you can mix it in with some water and it'll give your flowers a boost. So not only do I have good black soil in which the worm compost was done in out in the field, which it gave me good black soil, but also I'm getting the worm juice, and I'm going to use that worm juice to feed the plants as well. So I can guarantee that I'm getting the plants the best possible soil, the best possible nutrients within that soil, so I can get the best possible crop and then control my environment as much as possible. You see how I did the raised beds, and I'm going to do another raised bed, but in terms of controlling and eliminating weeds, controlling and eliminating any grubs, where it's sifted through all of that dirt over here was sifted through so that there's no grubs in it at all. And so everything is natural and recyclable. And let me show you the end result right here. Now this is again good black dirt. Do you see the end result? Now this is something that I started about a month ago, about a month and a half ago. And you see those grubs in there? But this is the end result. Good black dirt that can be used again. Now this is on a smaller scale, and I really want to beef this up because there's plenty of room on the sides and on the edges in terms of maximizing every little space that you have on your piece of property, so that you're maximizing the use of every possible space. Now, little shrubs, little places off to the side, you can put a little worm composting system and use that with leaves. Over there in that field right there, I just crushed up a lot of leaves and tilled it all into the ground, so that's going to be ready. But you see how black this dirt is? So this is what you want to do. I mean, and this is going to give your soil the nutrients that it needs, as well as the dirt that you need. And we can really scale this up, which I plan on doing. And it's free. It costs you nothing. It costs you nothing. All it is, you dig the worms out. A lot of people say, oh, you got to get this kind of worm, that kind of worm. This is proven that you can just get the worms right out of the ground, put it in here, put the grubs in here, and it works. You don't have to buy no worms. That is, if you're willing to spend a couple hours to dig the worms out of the ground, which I was, and I got about 500 worms by hand. So, and in a couple of weeks, those worms will multiply and give me more worms. So I got probably about 1,000 to 2,000 worms in here by now. Because they're eating and they're also multiplying, and it's all natural process. So it can be done if you're willing to put in the work, and you're going to get some nice black dirt to put as an amendment in your soil to grow the best possible crops, to grow the best possible healthy crops that you can. So this is another good project here, and that's what you want to do. You want to apply what these men are saying. And so that you save a whole lot of time, energy, and effort, and you eat more healthy, and you do it in such a way where you're not spending a whole lot of money on a whole bunch of fertilizers and stuff that they sell in the store, when you can make your own fertilizer yourself. Come in here and zoom in on this. Beautiful, ain't it? Worm tea compost, free. Put it right in the soil. Get it done. Shalom.